this week, the Washington Commanders take on the Las Vegas Raiders at Northwest Stadium for this Week 3 matchup. But the problem with that, guys, is that Tom Brady, Fox broadcaster and, of course, former Buccaneers and Patriots quarterback, NFL legend, is part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, I might be saying, but Jack, what's wrong with that? Can't a broadcaster be a part owner in a team as well? Well, the problem with that, guys, is that Brady just called a Washington Commander game back in Week 1 when this team played the New York Giants, and in preparation for that game, Brady was in production meetings with coaches, with players, with personnel, and it's very possible that he picked up on some things that he could use, and he could tell the Raiders coaching staff to give them a competitive advantage versus the Washington Commanders on Sunday afternoon. So today on the Commanders Report, we're going to be talking about the idea of Tom Brady potentially giving the Raiders an unfair advantage versus the Washington Commanders, and discuss whether or not broadcasters should also be allowed to be part owners in NFL teams, and whether or not that's a conflict of interest. But today, make sure you guys get down there in the comment section to kick off today's show and let me know the answer to this question. Does Tom Brady give Las Vegas an unfair advantage this week, being a broadcaster that has called a Commanders game, and now his team is playing the team that he just went through all these production meetings with? Let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section. Yes or no for today's pinned question. In just a second here, I'm going to tell you about our sponsor today at Prize Picks. While I tell you about Prize Picks today, let me know if Tom Brady gives the Raiders an unfair advantage this week. With that, let's have a word from our sponsor today at Prize Picks. And you and I, we both make decisions every single day, but not all those decisions get you paid. On the Prize Picks app, which you can download for free on your phone right now, you guys can get paid for your right decisions. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Football season is finally here, and you better believe I'm going to be getting my Prize Picks lineups in all season long. Prize Picks is super simple to play. You just pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections. And if you get your picks right, you could cash in. Prize Picks also puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks also offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. And a new feature from Prize Picks that I absolutely love is injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half with an injury and doesn't return, Prize Picks will not count that as a loss. Here's my Week 3 projection for professional football here this weekend. I'm taking the more on James Cook rushing yards. I'm taking the more on Josh Allen passing yards, the more on Tua Tagovailoa passing touchdowns, and the more on passing yards for one Patrick Mahomes. If you guys want to get your Prize Picks projection in for Week 3 here, you can download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup on the Prize Picks app today. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. So listen, man, my personal opinion on this is that it should be a rule where if you are a part owner, if you are a paid employee of an NFL team, you should not be able to broadcast full-time or even part-time. I think it should be against the rules, because I do believe that it is a conflict of interest here, right? Tom Brady, he's in these production meetings, meeting with team coaches, with players, with all these different things on a weekly basis, and I do think that there are certain nuggets of information that he can pick up that he can then translate to his weekly meetings with the Raiders coaching staff. It was divulged on Monday Night Football last night that Brady meets with the Raiders coaching staff regularly, including 2 to 3 times per week with offensive coordinator Chip Kelly. So you're telling me that Tom Brady, one of the most competitive people, in the history of the sport, now that he's inside a new organization, he has a very prominent role inside that Raiders organization. He's in the coach's box during these games, isn't feeding, the Raiders some of this inside information that he is getting by the access that he's getting by being a broadcaster for Fox. I mean, come on, get out of here with that, man. It's just like complete espionage that Tom Brady is getting away with right here, and I think that the NFL needs to do something about it, all right? My guess is that the NFL should address this rule in the years to come, because I think it's such an obvious conflict of interest. Now, the NFL did put out today kind of a PR piece via Adam Schefter from ESPN about what the rules actually say Brady is allowed in terms of the access he can get to team facilities and stuff like that. Schefter said NFL announced today that Tom Brady, a minority owner with the Raiders and a broadcaster for Fox, is quote-unquote prohibited from going to a team facility for practices or production meetings, but he is allowed to sit in the coach's booth per the league. So essentially they're saying, as a part owner, he's allowed to sit in the coach's box, and I'm actually fine with him. If he wants to sit in the coach's box, that's 100% fine. That's his right as a part-time owner or a partial owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. My issue is, even though he has to do these things virtually with the production meetings, he is still getting, all access here outside of the team facility to players, to coaches, and all these different things. And there might be things that slip to Tom Brady that he can use as a competitive advantage against these football teams. And of course, he's watching film on all these guys, which is perfectly fine and should be legal. But obviously, Tom Brady is providing some inside info to the Las Vegas Raiders that they are hoping to use for their gain. And I'm just hoping that DQ, Dan Quinn, or any of the players or anything like that didn't tell any secrets. All right, there's multiple players that meet with these guys, including Brady with Fox, every single time that they have a broadcast. And, there's certain, little tidbits that you can get from these meetings that could be used as a competitive advantage. So I do not like the fact that Brady called a game for the Washington Commanders 2 weeks ago, and now he's going to be helping game plan for this same football team with the Las Vegas Raiders this week and hoping to bring down this football team. And listen, man, I get the argument where it's like, if DQ's dumb enough to tell info to Tom Brady, if Jaden Daniels is dumb enough to give Tom Brady some info, these guys should know that he is a part-time owner or a partial owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, and they should not be divulging any state secrets to him because he's going to use that against them. But plain simply, guys, if this team doesn't have the discipline to keep their lips sealed on certain schematics, on certain things that they want to do, frankly, we deserve to lose if the Raiders get in a competitive advantage against this football team. Speaking of Dan Quinn, he gave us some injury updates here. Of course, announcing that Austin Eckler and Dietrich Wise will be out for the season. That absolutely sucks, but also he gave up an update on Jaden Daniels, who currently has a knee sprain, and he said, quote, "I can't tell you if Jaden Daniels will play versus the Las Vegas Raiders," which obviously would be a big blow to this offense because he really is this offense, man. You watch the film on this team and this offense, there's not a whole lot of separation created by wide receivers. It's a lot of Jaden Daniels' anticipation. It's a lot of his accuracy. It's a lot of his playmaking ability, and it's a lot with his legs. And if you take that away, it's going to be pretty tough for this Washington Commanders offense to move the football. However, if Jaden Daniels can't go, Marcus Mariota showed last year that he is a more than capable backup quarterback. I mean, he put up 30-plus points multiple times last year, filling in for Jaden when he was dealing with another injury that he was dealing with in his rookie season. But if Mariota plays this weekend, guys, what a great storyline, because he played for the Las Vegas Raiders, man. They had an opportunity to maybe even make him their full-time starter, and they said no to him. All right, he ended up going elsewhere, and they kind of decided to go in a different direction. But Mariota will be playing for his former team, which obviously gives him some added motivation, but it also gives him a little bit of motivation because Chip Kelly, the Raiders offensive coordinator, is his former college head coach. Of course, I'm sure those two have many great memories together, but, of course, with these types of relationships, you want to prove that you can beat them when you go mano-a-mano. So that would certainly be a great story here for Marcus Mariota if he gets to play. Obviously, I'm hoping Jaden is good enough to go and to play in this football game, but if he can't, I have all the trust in the world in Marcus to be able to operate this offense effectively and be able to get a win against the silver and black. And then if Jaden's injury keeps him out for multiple weeks here, that means Mariota will get a chance to go on a little bit of a revenge tour here. You get the Raiders, and then you get the Falcons, the team that really did him dirty when he had a chance to start a couple years back, and then they end up just abandoning him, and then Marcus just straight up left the team. He felt so slighted by them. So if he gets a chance to play against the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta and go and have a chance to go beat them in their building, I'm sure that would be an even bigger storyline here for Marcus Mariota. But like I said, guys, if Marcus needs to play, I trust him to get a W or two. I think even with Marcus, these two games are very winnable for the Washington Commanders. Now, it certainly seems like that Falcons defense is legit. That pass rush is getting after quarterbacks. They got some very fun players in the secondary that they drafted this year. I think either with Jaden or with Marcus, it's not going to be a walk in the park when we go to Atlanta here in Week 4, which makes this game versus the Las Vegas Raiders that much more important. So hopefully, whether it's Marcus, whether it's Jaden, no matter who's at quarterback, can get the job done here at home on Sunday afternoon. So true or false? Let me know down there in the comments section. Marcus Mariota is a top 5 backup quarterback in the NFL. today. Type T if you think that statement is true. Type F if you think that statement is false. For me personally, I think he is a top 5 backup quarterback in the league. I think he showed that last year with the way that he played. He played actually phenomenally with this Washington Commanders offense. He's super comfortable in Cliff's scheme. It's a really great fit for him and his skill set. Let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section. T for true, F for false. And that'll be it for today's edition of the Commanders Report by Chat Sports. Hopefully, Tom Brady doesn't give this team a competitive advantage that gives them the edge to send the Commanders to 1-2 this weekend. But no matter what happens this week, guys, we're going to keep you updated with the very latest. And, of course, we're going to be getting you guys extensive coverage of Week 3 versus the Raiders here on Sunday. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Till next time, guys, hail to the Commanders.